Well, coming up on June 27th, there's a comedian named Jeff Dye who is going to be at the Kravis Center in West Palm Beach. And I saw him on a podcast talking about the uniqueness of Miami and the people who are there and the jobs that they do.
Miami's a whole different beast because, Miami, they're all on cocaine.
No one's working.
What are they doing for money?
Even the people working aren't working. You got champagne with like rockets coming out of the top of it. They got like a panda head and they're wearing like a thong and they're like, I'm at work. Yeah, you bring your friend to brunch. It costs $280. Brunch costs $280. There's people twerking on my grandma's face. They're all gorgeous. Everyone's beautiful in Miami.
High. Is that weird?
But no one's working.
Yeah,
and they're all like mad, like, I can't even believe I work here. I should be famous. You're like, you shouldn't be famous. You don't do anything. You just have a butt.
Yeah, you have a great butt.
Yeah, just having a great butt doesn't make you famous. Yeah. And they go, oh, look at me, I got a butt.
That's it, baby. That's the attitudes of Miami employment, man.
There are a lot of people who are famous because they have a great butt.
Yeah, they are. You're right.
And they walk around going, I am famous. I've got 4 million followers. I have a great butt.
It's the thing that's really happening now in Miami. There are so many either OnlyFans creators, social media influencers, and all these kind of other things, maybe a club promoter, but they realize people are walking around all day long and it looks like no one in Brickell is working. It's like, what does anybody do here? And they're all doing odd little jobs like that.
I'm influencing, Kevin.
Do you think that's going to fade out?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. Miami's kind of turning into its own little playground internationally, and these people are finding employment, and so much money comes into Miami. People spend sick amounts, like he's saying, it's $280 for brunch. And you've got somebody with a panda head twerking on your grandma's face. And you're just like, yeah, that person in that panda head's actually getting paid for doing an odd job.
I just know people are starting to really turn on influencers, quote unquote, influencers.
People outside the bubble are. I don't know if people inside the bubble, I think they all think they're fantastic.
Oh, yeah, no, I think the bubble thinks they're great, but I'm saying overall, because you need still people outside the bubble to sustain that lifestyle, to keep that thing funded and keep people watching and keeping people invested. Does that run thin after a while is my question.
I don't think so, because I think there are people inside the bubble with tons of money as well. I mean, who is the person that owned that Lamborghini boat that sunk off Miami Beach on Saturday with, 32 influencers on it?
Did we ever hear the backstory on that? Whose boat is it?
No, I haven't. But that's just it. It seems like an endless amount of money, young, hot people that really, what do you do? Do you have a job? How do you make money? What do you do? It's it's a weird environment right now.
I just cash checks from all the platforms after checks, after checks, after checks.
I mean, we kind of had that version of when we grew up. They were called yuppies, people that had all this kind of money and they would, Daddy, get me money. I mean, it's just that version of it.
Yeah, my daughter's got a good friend that is in Miami and in that whole thing, and he does something with EDM music. I'm not really sure what, but he goes to all the festivals, and I think he's like a EDM music promoter. And then his girlfriend works at Club Space in Miami. And kind of the same thing, where it's like they just show up and she has a couple bottles with the little sparklies coming out of it. And,
he's an EDM promoter. Okay, so he sells drugs. I'm just kidding.
I mean, this is kind of what they do.
It's a joke.
So how many different jobs can you think of that are pretty unique to South Florida? That they don't typically have these if you go to other states, especially in the middle of America. I mean, my daughter has one of those jobs that, there are nannies in New York City and other places like that. But, where I grew up, we didn't have nannies. We just called them babysitters. And you paid them by the hour and they went home.
A nanny was some British woman who was 80 years old.
Yeah.
That only rich people had.
Mary Poppins. I just thought it was something they did in England. I didn't know that was an actual thing. But there are nanny services here in South Florida, and it's a pretty lucrative profession. A lot of people are doing it. That's pretty unique. One thing that my daughter's told me about her experience on boats is how many people are crewing some of these big old yachts. And that's a world in and of itself. And that's a fascinating life. The people who are the crew on these boats, like my daughter will tell me that, their whole objective, they've got to stay up. So you'll have sometimes people that stay up late that are partying on the boat and people that go to bed early. And so the crew members, they stay up until the last person goes to bed, because if they want another bottle of tequila or something like that, they got to get it for them. But then the other people on the boat may wake up at 6 a.m. and then they got to be there for them. And sometimes you're like, I don't even know when I'm going to sleep because I can't really stop working.
You see it all if you watch the Bravo show Below Deck.
Right, yeah.
And it's really fascinating to see how somebody always has to be awake with the guests. Somebody always has to be watching to make sure none of them fall off the back of the boat.
And there's probably times where they have a party scheduled on the yacht, and then, at last minute, we're not having the party. So you have everybody getting ready that's working on the yacht, ready for a party, but there's no party. Do they get turned? Do they start to have the party on the yacht if no one's going to be on there?
They can't party on the yacht while the guests are there.
No.
They only party once the guests have disembarked.
Well, that's
from
what I mean. Let's say the party gets canceled and they're ready for a party. They're like, oh, no party tonight. Now you've all this stuff ready for a party and no one's going. Do you now turn it into a party for y'all?
They'd party on shore.
Yeah.
And then they come back to the boat and they do party a little bit on the boat. But they start their party on shore.
And you got to kind of sneak it.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't celebrate it. One thing I know was unique was, remember when we were in Vegas that one time and this guy was playing $25,000 hands in the VIP room? And I'm like, how are you getting this money? And he was getting it from his girlfriend, who's a sport fisherman. And she must make money hand over fist, and that's what she does. She just goes out into these big game tournaments and reels in big old fish and makes a buttload of money. I was
Sometimes the purse would be like $1 million to win this fishing tournament. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
Fishing $1 million? But that's real.
Didn't even know that was a job.
A lot of money in snook.
Another thing that's kind of unique in Miami is the crypto miner. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah. Like cryptocurrency.
Yeah, these are the people that just mine for crypto all day long, trying to find little, connections, I guess, mathematically to pull out some crypto from the blockchain. That's a whole thing. And, in my hometown, they don't have crypto miners.
No.
The other thing that's unique, too, is with all the animals we have, how many other places have iguana or alligator trappers? I wouldn't think that's
true.
That's something you don't have, many different places.
You are right.
Another person texted in, they said, yeah, my wife is a flight coordinator for a really wealthy South Florida man. Her job is basically to call other people and have them do a job, all while she makes $250K a year.
Dang.
That's what I'm telling you. Some of these jobs that are out there, you guys just got to sniff around, get connected, find out, because not bad.
Estate management is a thing.
Yes, it is.
You just become like the boss of everything, and you run it all.
Of all the people at the house.
Everybody at the house, you run all their stuff for all of them, but it sounds like a job you can even do from home.
Yeah, no doubt it is. That's why it is kind of cool here in South Florida, because if you come from a different part of the world, you are open up to a whole bunch of other jobs where it might be kind of awesome. You get paid a lot of money and it's not real stressful and it's pretty sweet.
Rich people need a lot of help with stuff.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else is a palm tree grower. Yeah, you don't really see that probably in Nebraska.
I want a palm. That would be cool. I need to talk to some palm tree growers.
There are some expensive palms out there.
I can't believe how expensive palm trees are.
You can spend 10 grand on a fine ass tall palm.
Yep.
That's a real thing.
That's why I get plastic trees.
Those look so good.
Somebody else texted in, they said, I'm a farrier working on $1 million horses in Wellington all day, every day. I'm surrounded by big corporate families and hedge funds. Yeah, I think you got the Coca-Cola people that are out there. Bill Gates is out there. Yeah, I mean, it's just one after another. And it is kind of interesting businesses. I was talking to one of those kids that was on the Netflix polo show. Timmy Duda's his name, if you've seen that. And they feature his dad on there. His dad's business is he ships expensive horses all over the world for polo.
Wow.
So they'll put them on a plane because, you take your horses with you when the polo people leave Wellington, then they go to Spain or England.
Do they fly first class up in the front? Get a little cocktail.
Yeah, you imagine the horse getting on your plane? What?
Oh, I guarantee.
He's just sitting there.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, a Wellington horse travels way nicer than we do.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, Anna said Duda Farms. Yeah, that's what the guy does. And you know, I imagine you just make I couldn't even imagine what you make on that stuff. Because I think some of those barns over there, just to house your horse for a year, it's typically what? The average is like about $500,000 to $1 million a year, I think.
Wow.
For one stable, for one horse.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the money out in Wellington's absolutely insane. So, yeah, it's just a life from where I came from that's just unimaginable. People just don't even know it exists.
Overly rich people just make me feel uncomfortable every time.
Don't worry, they feel the same way about you.
Well, I always just break into what's their favorite cheese and if they believe in aliens.
They're like, get this idiot away from me.
What the fuck? He's talking about cheese and aliens? What the fuck? Better man, I told us to get the help.
Security!
Get the help away from here. I was invited, I swear.
Who let the homeless guy in?
Yeah. Big Prince of Peace said, yeah, $1 million is nothing now these days. Wow. So even more than that. It's just, yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I can't even relate, can't fathom it. It's fascinating, but yeah, it's pretty unreal. South Florida is a very unique place.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.